Okay, what's up? What's up? Hey, in the studio today, I got a treat for you. Let me introduce you to Jamarcus Turner. What's up, sir?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Jamarcus Turner is now co-writer,
I'm a staff writer. Staff
What's the
writer.
difference,
No,
Jamarcus?
no difference. Just that if you're a staff writer, that means that they're gonna put your name on some scripts during the season. If you're a co-writer, your name is on all the scripts all season.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the
okay, okay.
difference.
To Bob and I'm gonna screw this last name.
Bob Hart's Abishola. Loved the show before they hired me, which was great. I got my agents and my manager called me. I It was crazy how I got the agents and the manager, but I'm saying they called me and they were like, "Hey, the show is looking for a writer, and it's Bob Hart's Abby Show." And I was excited. They were like, "Yeah, it's something. You'll have some work." And I'm like, "Have y'all watched this show? Because it's a really good show.
It's
It's
funny.
all heart. It's just not funny. It's
Uh-huh,
it's
uh-huh,
heart in the show. It's
uh-huh.
a very smart, sensitive, compassionate show, and it's a love story between these two people.
It's perfect for today.
It is.
It really is perfect. I love the diversity in the African mama and his mama. And well, I done jump right into this journey. How did you get started writing?
I have been, I was that kid who was pretty good in English class, pretty good with coming up with stories, pretty good with stuff like that in school. But it wasn't until January 2020. I'm on Twitter a lot. I wouldn't call that writing. It's just more like me just saying dumb stuff all the time. And because I was a factory worker, I was a bored factory worker, and I would be bored at work, and so I would be tweeting all day. I would be just tweeting all day nonstop. And this comedian, he's a writer, producer, actor, executive now. His name is Yasser Lester, and we have been following each other for a couple of years on Twitter. He'd say something funny, I'd laugh. I'd say something funny, he'd laugh. Nothing. And one day out of the blue in January 2020, he DM'd me and was like, "Hey man, what do you do?" And I was, thought he was making conversation. So I was like, "Oh, I build plastic tanks in Indiana. What's it like being famous?"
In Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I just thought he was chopping it up. And instead, he was like, "I think you're funny. You should write." And he bought me a book about writing, and he bought me a program for my computer so that I could write on my computer. I had to go buy a computer, and then
That's
I
amazing.
started writing, and he gave me notes. Like, I would write something, and he'd be like, "This is terrible," and I would fix it, and he'd go, "This is less terrible, but you need to fix this," and I fixed it again. And he'd go, "This is look." He didn't have to do any of this. He didn't have to take any of the time. He's a
You're not
very busy
kidding.
man. In fact, he's running a Marvel show now. So, like, for him to take the time to do, there was no reason for him to do it. He didn't have to. It wasn't like somebody made him. He just felt the need
This,
to, and it
this is your
changed my life.
time, Jamarcus. This is your time. God has ordained this as your time.
Hope so.
And where you are. When they said Fort Wayne man from, I read the article, a little bit of the article, from Fort Wayne working in a factory. I was like, wait a minute, what? And writing for one of my shows that I do not miss. What was in the article is that is it your cousin?
My brother
Your
passed.
your
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, passed. Yeah.
Actually, you promised him that you would do what?
I would. My brother loved comedy as much as I love comedy. I've always loved telling jokes and making people laugh and stuff like that. That's why I was so good on social media and Twitter and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I had promised him I would get on stage and do comedy if he found me an open mic. If he found me somewhere to do it, I didn't know of any. He didn't know of any. I told him if he found something, I promised I would do it. We talked about it for years. We wrote jokes together, sitting down, writing sessions and stuff, and just being, just knowing that one day we was gonna do this.
Okay.
And he passed away in his sleep last October. And so, like a week after he passed away, I found a flyer for an open mic. So I started going, and I never stopped going. And
That's
then,
cool.
yeah, it just went from there. But that
Did
was
you
going
see
on.
this coming?
No, no, I did not. I thought that I honestly was looking forward to the grind part and the sleeping in your car after a bad show part.
Why?
I don't know, because I have romanticized that in my head so
Okay,
much
okay.
over the years. When you spend 17 years in factories, you think all the stuff you're missing out on, and it's not the stuff like fame and fortune. It's the stuff like doing what I really want to do but struggling at it.
Okay.
Like really, but I'm doing what I want to do. So I can tell people later I struggled and I slept in my car, but damn it, I'm a comedian now. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to do that part.
That's
And
good though.
yeah, it's good, but
It is.
I think I would have loved to do it with him. So it's too bad.
Now, when you came in, you started. I said, "Don't talk anymore. I want to turn on the mic." You talked about in the factory being bored and doing what?
You tweet. Yeah, that's all I do. I tweet all day. So I'd be sitting on my machine tweeting, fixing it. I would make sure to get my work done, but I would really just make sure to get my work done so they couldn't bother me while I was tweeting.
Well, you
You know what I mean? So
you didn't want to be interrupted
no,
with your
I'm
tweets.
yeah, and it helps that I'm a kind of a big guy. You know what I mean? I'm 6'3", I'm like 240 pounds. So they didn't want to bother me anyway. But I made sure that they extra didn't want to bother me because I would have my work done so that when they saw me on my phone, they would know, yeah, but he got his work done.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I'd be on my phone nonstop. And, he saw me and, it went from there.
What are their thoughts? Because I am so glad. Okay, I'm going to back up now because I'm
Yes,
all
ma'am.
over the place. And I said, I want to interview this young man from Fort Wayne. I want to interview him. And so what I did, it was about 11 o'clock. I said, look, you know what? How do I get in touch with him? His information isn't on the article. And I just typed up on Facebook, Jamarcus. Now, you have to know that I am not computer. Heck no.
Yeah.
So I had to look back at your name and type it in. And I said, well, this looks like his picture. I'm just going to tap there. We're not friends. I'm just going to instant message him. And you responded. I am so honored that you took the time for this.
Of course I would.
Oh
Man,
my
I
God.
couldn't believe it. This is exactly the kind of stuff I wanted to do my whole life. It's much better than building plastic tanks. I got to tell you, this is, if I had to put this on the list,
This
it would
is
go
it, huh?
above plastic tanks at least. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. So now what's next on, and wait a minute. Let me back up. And then after you said, yeah, I said, well, can we interview on Friday? Because my show is Fridays. And
Yes.
you're like, I know I'm leaving for California. And I promise you would have thought you were my son. It's like, yay! Wait a minute. He's leaving? How are we going to get this done?
yeah, and I wanted to get it done. I
Oh
really,
my
really did. So I'm
God.
glad I made it in here. But yeah, I am. I'm leaving. I have to get out there. I have to be living near the studio, so I'm gonna have to do that. And
Tomorrow. You're leaving
yeah,
tomorrow.
I fly out in the morning. Actually, I fly out at 7:30 in the
Congratulations,
morning.
young
So
man.
thank you so
Oh
much.
my gosh.
Yeah, so it's
So this is what you have to do. You have to promise this, that when you get out there, I'm going to need to meet Abashola and Bob Hort.
I tell you what, if I have a chance to meet them and get in their ear about it, you will absolutely get a chance.
Or just give them the number
If
here.
I could just take some pictures with them, I'm pretty sure my stock is gonna raise with a bunch of my family members around here. So
That's going to be it, huh?
yeah.
Amazing. So what's next on this journey? Are
Well,
you just enjoying this part right now?
I love this part. This
Yes.
this is great. I'm in a stable, solid place. This is the best. That people always tell these horror stories about writers' rooms. Writers do. They go, it's cutthroat and it's this and it's that. And, I'm in a writers' room where everybody is extremely supportive. Everybody is really happy that I'm there and
It's
really
a
helpful.
blessing.
They're really honest with me and open with me as far as I can tell. And they give me they take the time individually to say, hey man, if you do this, you're gonna be even more successful. And I do that.
Yes.
So I'm the type of person where I like to know things, but I'm not a know-it-all because I will listen to you if I don't know something.
Right.
If you were to start to talk to me about the radio, I'm not going to start talking over you about the radio. I'm going to be silent and listen to you tell me about the radio so I can learn as much as possible. So the next time I talk about the radio, I know what I'm talking about. So when somebody brings me something like that for work, it's like, cool, I really want to know about that. I'm good with taking criticism. I didn't have football coaches cussing me out talking about my mama standing on my chest like in elementary school. You know what I mean? There's no reason for me to be upset at a grown man raising his voice about some words I wrote.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna be broken by that.
That's
So I
good.
really appreciate I take criticism very well, and I take this stuff very seriously, and I want to get out there. I want to do, like I said, it's comedy. I do stand up, and I love doing that, and I write, and I love doing that, and I act, and I love doing that. So if I get to do all that stuff, I'll be really happy.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. So so what part that we've seen on the show have you written that you could say, this is me?
That's the best part about the show is that it's extremely collaborative. You don't know that going in. I didn't know that about sitcoms or even like half-hour comedy. I call it half-hour comedy because it's really not a sitcom.
Okay.
They don't operate it the way a sitcom. They put it in a half-hour space, but you've watched it. It's got a lot more heart and a lot more feel than a regular sitcom. So I'll call it a half-hour comedy.
Okay.
But the half hour structure and the way they do it is it's I throw out a line, they throw out a line, they throw out a line, they throw out a line, and we build it together. And then sometimes we tear it all down and then we rebuild it again. So the scene
Jamarcus,
that you
how
saw,
did you do that from here though?
from here, I read a lot.
That's just so
I read a
cool.
lot. Like I read and read and read. I used to get in trouble a lot when I was a kid. And my uncle used to send these boxes of books from Colorado, right? And all of these books, the way things work and how it's made, and National Geographic, and just really informative things. Just all kind of information, right? And I would get in trouble all the time, and so there's no TV in my room. So my punishment would just be sit in my room, and I love TV. I love watching TV, but the books are there. So I just started reading. I was like 5 or 6, and I just started eating these books up because you're not gonna walk into a kid's room and be like, "Well, you want punishment? Let me take these books so you learn it." Nobody's gonna do that. So that's like the big joker for me. Like I can get away. You're not punishing me. I'll just go to my room and read these books. I'm still. What you gonna do? You gonna come? I'll leave the door open so you can watch me read. And I'm enjoying myself. You can't do nothing about it. What you gonna come in here and take the books? No, you're not. So I can read as much as I want to.
Oh my God! Yeah. Excuse me.
I would read as much as I want to, and I love reading, and I love books, and I love soaking up that information. If I'm not listening to a podcast or reading a book or watching TV or something, I'm taking in information. I'm on Twitter. I learn from Twitter.
No, but my question was, living here, how were you guys able to collaborate back and forth?
Oh, well.
How were you able to? Okay, I'll say this. Okay, I'm going to say this.
We're on Zoom.
I'm picking this apart now.
So like when I be like I got to go to work at 1 o'clock, I just got to be on Zoom by 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like I got to get to Zoom by 1 o'clock, and then I'll be at work. But I've been working over Zoom for the past 8 weeks. So this whole third season, I came in a month after they started the writer's room, and they had already written pretty much the first 2 episodes. But the beauty of the collaborative thing is when you do punch-ups, you got to go back, you fix the parts that they didn't. So we went back together and we punched up some of those parts, and they punched up some of the other ones. So I got a hand in all the episodes this season. It's really great. But we're on Zoom. We get over on Zoom and we talk and we laugh. And they're all in California, but they're also all on Zoom.
Okay.
And that's how the opportunity arose. Because if everybody's on Zoom, it doesn't matter if I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Isn't that cool?
It is great. It gave me the opportunity they didn't hesitate about hiring me like, oh, well, he's in Indiana, we can't do it. They already are not seeing each other. So me being in Indiana isn't a problem. They brought me in, and I really appreciate it. I love it. It changed my life. I'm on the radio right now talking about it.
During a pandemic, what you say?
Hey, look, people talk bad about the pandemic, but it worked pretty good. It worked pretty good for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Zoom was not a thing before the pandemic. Zoom, this was not an option before the pandemic. So without the pandemic, there's no Zoom. Without no Zoom, there's no hiring me to work over Zoom, and there ain't no hiring me work over Zoom. I'm building a plastic tank right now. And I would much rather be doing this.
You are very funny. Even talking serious.
For real. Dead serious. Like, for real. Like, yeah, I know the pandemic was rough on a bunch of people, and it was not great for me either, but it was some bright spots.
It opened up some doors.
Yeah, it sure did.
That's right. So now, as you move forward, will you still do the stand-up comedy?
Oh, I love stand-up. I'm never going to stop doing that. I got a show in the area on the 5th of November I'm coming back for.
Here in Fort Wayne?
No, it's not here in Fort Wayne. It's with a comedian named Alex Eakin, who's also coming out with me to L.A. Alex is coming out.
Wow.
Yeah, he's great. He's so great. I can't wait for everybody else to really get a look at him. But no, this is gonna be in it's gonna be in Fort Wayne at Sweetwater Sounds.
Oh, cool.
Yep,
that's
very close. November 5th. Yeah.
Stand up.
Yep, I'm doing stand up. I'm actually a headliner for that show. I guess I'm going on last. So,
cool.
But it's a feature for everybody. It's some great comedians on there. Lynette Thomas is on it. Julie Heckman. Alex Eakin, I think somebody else, but those are like some of my favorite people, and Jay Hunter.
Okay.
And these are some of my favorite people. These are like my comedy family that I just met here. So I'm really sad to be leaving them because like I said, I romanticized the struggle and the tough parts, right? So this last 9-10 months of spending time and hanging out with them at bars after we only got paid $20, and you know what I mean, that stuff. I love that stuff. I'm gonna miss that stuff more than anything else.
Well, you might get some of that too.
Maybe, yeah. Now that they paying me, you could give me $20 to do stand up. I'll be all right.
I'll be okay.
I ain't gonna pay these bills now, so.
Oh my God! Tell me something that as we're wrapping this up, because I know you got to leave here.
I do. So
I'm going to work. What is it that you would like us to know about you that I am just too excited to even think about asking?
I would like the people out there to know that not just about me. It's not really about me because they didn't learn everything they really need to know about me right now. But they need to know that whatever that thing is that they're doing, if they don't love that thing, is this not the thing that they feel in their heart that they're supposed to be doing, they should be doing something else. You should get up and do something else. Life is very, very short. Mm-hmm. My brother was 30 years old when he died in his sleep. He was 30. He didn't have any kids. He worked at a factory for 8 years. You know, he went to, he thought he had time to do that stuff, and he didn't. You don't think you have time to do it. Just do it. Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't put it off because you're wasting time. You're wasting the only time you have here on something that you don't love. Do not waste your time.
That's good, Jamarcus.
Thank you.
Jamarcus Turner, staff writer for Bob Hart and Abishola.
Yep, Bob Hart's Abishola.
Thank you, love.
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
I'll do my best.
That's so cool. That is 16 minutes. That's pretty good. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, before you leave,
Yes, ma'am.
if you could, I'm going to record another. Okay. Hold on. I want to save this.